Hello and welcome to this week's Cari Connects. I am Psychic Medium Cari Mugz, and each week I pull a card from a deck to let you know what's coming up for the week and the signs and symbols to watch for. If you're listening to this on my Spunky Spirit podcast, you can watch it on any of my social media platforms. All of the information is below in the show notes. So I am back from Scotland and it was amazing. I learned so much about myself, so much about my business that I'm going to do, so many ideas, and it was just an amazing, awesome place. And I did a couple of paranormal investigations, which was way cool. And I thought it would be scary, but it was like the coolest thing ever. And it just brought a lot of things that I'm going to do upcoming personally and business wise. So keep your eyes open for my Spunky Spirit podcast, because there's going to be some changes, but it's going to be really cool. So I'm working on that. Also too, my retreat is pretty much sold out, except for I think there's one spot left. You can check. I'll have to double check today and make sure, but I think there's one spot left. Also too, a lot of you keep reaching out to me and asking me when my schedule is going to be back open. My schedule is already open. I just make it so it only schedules out 4 months, which means it's already booked out to January. I had to do that because it was booked out for a year and I had to get on top of it. So now it only schedules out to 4 months, which means some spots will start opening again on September 19th, just because I do have a Hawaii trip coming up in January for some work that I have to do. And then September 19th, some days in January will open, because that's when some spots will be open. So my schedule is already open. You just have to keep checking back, because it only lets you book out for 4 months. So, okay. So today we are going to use a deck that I got from Scotland, of course, and it is called Goddesses and Sirens. Learned about sirens. I learned about all the mystical creatures in Scotland while I was there, and it was awesome. In fact, I actually got Nessie on my, can you see it? See her right there? Little Nessie, Loch Ness Nessie. It was a magical experience. So anyways, we're using Goddess and Sirens from a deck that I got from Scotland, and it's by Stacey DeMarco. I think you could probably get this on Amazon. I don't know. I haven't looked yet, but I love this because it's got the Celtic symbol on the back, and the illustrations are amazing. And the thing that is cool is this goddess deck. Sometimes when you have goddess decks, the goddesses look all beautiful and sultry. This goddess deck, they are badass. They're like warriors. So I think that's really cool. So we're going to try this deck today, see what happens, and see what comes up for this week. So here we go. Oh, this one is Kali. She is known to, and this is about fear, but I don't feel like this is you are going to be afraid of something. It could be, but honestly, I think it's something that you fear is holding you back. I know that that's probably accurate for me. Something that you're afraid of. Kali, I don't know if it's Kali or Kali. I don't do a lot of work with this goddess, but she's pretty kick butt. She does help you transform. She does help you transform into different things or transform your life. She's pretty strong. She is pretty badass, and she gives you your power. She helps you step into your power. So there's something that you're afraid of this week that you're going to have to face, or something that's going to happen that is going to make you afraid. And so this is letting you know that you've got a pretty BA warrior behind you, or a pretty big spiritual team behind you. You've got your guides, your own guides, plus your own ancestors. So if anything happens this week that kind of makes you, or if there's anything that's going on in your life right now that makes you afraid, just remember to step into your power and to know who you are, and to know that you've got this and you can do this. And it's so crazy because this is like perfect for me, because when change comes, or when we have big plans, we're always afraid, right? But the best things that happen to us are on the other side of fear, on the other side of whatever's holding us back. And so we've got to step into that and make sure, really, fear's kind of a liar. Have you ever done this thing where you're afraid of something and you're afraid it's going to be so hard and it's going to be so drawn out, and then you actually go through it and you're like, that wasn't so crazy, that wasn't so bad? This is kind of what you have to remember, it's sometimes we create it to be a bigger deal or more fearful than it really should be. We create this whole scenario of how it's going to turn out, and we go through our mind of how it's going to be, and when reality comes, it's really not that bad. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. The only thing is there's kind of not a lot of signs and symbols on this one. In fact, the picture's kind of crazy looking. Usually when I see pictures of her, she's all sweet, nice. I mean, not, but she's got a princess. This one is pretty warrior-like. So some of the signs and symbols. Now, one, there's no number on these. So the number that we're going to use is probably 111, because that lets you know that you're raising your frequency and that you've got this, that you can step into your power. And 777, because that lets you know that your guides and your ancestors are cheering you on. Some of you might even have her as a guide. You could ask her to help guide you. So some of the things that I see that we're going to use as signs and symbols is this kind of like moon thing that she has that she's holding on to. It's like a weapon, like a walking stick kind of weapon. Also, too, she has some skulls on her, around her. So I think, I'm not really sure, but I think she can be the goddess of death, but don't quote me on that. But that doesn't mean anybody's going to die. It just means that you're afraid to let something go, or you're afraid, you're not letting go of something that's not working for you. Just because you see death doesn't mean it's going to be something that is going to cause death. So kind of when you get off this, if you're interested, you can look up Kali. Also too, she does have, I'm going to say something about a mouth, just because she has a big long tongue. So like, be careful of the word you speak. Those can create fear. So we're going to have 777, 111, obviously the Celtic symbol. And then we're going to have like this moon-shaped weapon type of thing, or like a waning moon, or like a half a moon. And then we're going to have a skull. And then also your mouth, because I feel like to watch your tongue with her long tongue coming out. I feel like that you need to watch your tongue, not what you say about others, but what you say about yourself and what you say about your fear, because you create that. Words are spells. Words can create things that you don't even realize they can create. So don't speak fear. Don't speak speak help, and speak good about you. Speak accomplishment and goals. Don't be saying things that create fear. So really watch what you say. So if you want to see the signs and symbols and what they are, go look on my any of my social media accounts. But that's it's kind of a crazy card. I just got talking about how BA they look and how awesome they look, but this one looks a little scary. I know she's not scary, but some of them come across pretty scary. So, I mean, because look at this one. This is a good one too. Aphrodite, self-love. That's a good one. And actually, they kind of go together. Love yourself enough to like let go of the fear, right? So, yeah. Something is going to be scary for you this week, and you need to look above it. Know you have the power. Know you create. Fear is a liar. You can get past it, and you've got this. So don't be afraid, because you have a whole spiritual gang, like a whole spiritual side for that. Ancestors, guides, all of them are rooting for you, and that's what 777 is. It's you letting you know that they're rooting for you. So there you go, guys. Lots of awesome things coming up for the rest of the year. I do have, I've got to find a venue, but I do have a Mimosas with Mediums coming up in November, and a holiday gallery coming up too. So watch all that stuff. So good things coming. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it. Okay. Love you guys so much. I'll see you next week.